Now wait, idiots, Treinsymbol 6. Treinsymbol 6. Yeah, sure, you can call me that. Mr. Juggling, I have business I wish to conduct with you. If you want me to write something nice about you and your railway in these papers, you have a better chance of shining my shoes and waxing my floors. Well, would a bit of cash make you happier? I don't know if you noticed, Skinny, but I run the headlines on this island. My pockets are pretty full as they are now. It's gonna take a lot of money to... Holy shit. What kind of gold mine did you get this from? That is not your concern. But what I can promise, this will all be yours if you promise to pay Laxi.
Treinsymbol 6.
Find where the Nor'easters reside. There's a vicarage and orchard owned by the vicar next to the railway. The vicar of Wellsworth was a prominent figure in the island's community. If I had to compare him to any other figure on the island of Sodor, I would have compared him to Mrs. Kindly. He doesn't only hold prayer services, but he also holds events and celebrations around the island whenever there are events. The vicar always had a very helpful personality and a strong positive attitude who set an example to all of his followers, both on friend.
Treinsymbol
It's
6.
always good to know that the Lord's followers are always taking their time and part to worship and show their faithfulness to the Father. Sorry if we haven't been able to attend so many services, Reverend. The work has been very hectic as of late, and the news hasn't exactly been painting us in a good light. You needn't worry, Joey. The Lord is always in our hearts and spirits, even if some can't make time to attend. Prayers are always sufficient worship to the Lord. Of course, but I must ask, Vicar, is something troubling you? It's not typical that you finish prayer service so quickly. Yes, well, I'm in a bit of a dilemma, and I need to ask you both for your assistance. Well, as you all know, it is March, and since April is the next month, that also means that the next month will be Easter. As you all know, we always do a hay bale ride around the orchard for the children when they attend. However, my tractor is completely broken and can't be fixed. I need to find a new tractor or vehicle to give the children a ride over the grass. Would you like our railway to lend you money to find one? No, heavens no. The church would never beg its followers for money solely for its own benefit, unless it is out of their own graciousness, of course. Well, maybe we can do a charity so that people know it's going to a good cause. I don't think anyone would be willing to give too much of their money nowadays, especially with the Depression. But it is for the church, so maybe they'd be more willing to do so. With all due respect, Vicar, I thought your services would be finished at 10 a.m. You two need to move. Oh, of course, David. My apologies. You two may go. Bye, Vicar. If we find something to help you with your tractor, we will let you know. You know anyone selling a tractor? I'm afraid not. I'll have to see if something pops up or speak with the Fat Controller about it. The next morning, we were all awake and the Fat Controller was giving us our morning assignments. We had a particular assignment for Edward to do. And Edward, I need you to take a train full of scrap to Crewe at Barrow in Furness. Barrow, sir? Why me? Joey will be taking a very big and important goods train to Barrow, one that we cannot postpone. I can attach the scrap trucks to my train if you want, sir. No, Joey, you can't. The train is already heavy enough for you. I know you can handle a lot of trucks, but if you add the scrap trucks, it'll be way too much. We especially don't need any of the Sodor Times making more stories about us. Edward will take them. You will be fine. Yes, sir. Can I ask something, sir? Of course, Edward. What would you like to ask? Well, we went to the vicarage yesterday, and the vicar told us that his orchard tractor broke down. He needs to get a new one, not only for the orchard, but for events such as parties and celebrations for the children. That is an unfortunate dilemma for the vicar, but why are you bringing this up? Well, the vicar is thinking of doing a fundraiser or charity to raise money for a new one. I'm wondering if there was any way we could possibly contribute to part of that. I would be more than happy to contribute to the vicar. After all, my children do attend his school. We'd like to be a part of it too, sir. Aye, that would be nice. What do you expect us to do, Thomas? Give money? We don't get paid anything since we can't use money. It likely means other methods, James, such as giving rides to the children or helping renovate the church in some way. I'm sure the vicar will find ways for us to contribute. I will find time to speak with him when I can. Today is a busy day, so with all that, I will see you all later. May your days go smoothly. Bye, everyone. With that that all out of the way, we all continued with our day's work, as did Edward with his scrap train. As he was going all the way to Barrow, Edward was thinking of any way to raise money for the vicar's tractor. He also tried looking along the countryside for tractors that were for sale or being sold, but given that this was still in the Depression, the farmers had to make use of everything that they had, no matter how old or how broken something was. However, this wasn't the case for every farmer. Just leave it here, thanks. No problem. That is better. Edward? Edward? Huh? Yes? Who is that? Right here. Trevor, old friend. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again, old chap. Likewise, Edward. Quite a few ways from your farm, aren't you? Yes, I am. Old Farmer Grayson sadly passed away. No, I'm afraid so, Edward. I've been sold by his family because they couldn't afford to run the farm and keep me. That's horrible. What's going to happen to you now? I don't know. I might get lucky and be bought by a farmer who's in desperate need of a tractor, or I'll likely be here at this antique museum for the rest of my life. Oh well, another long-fulfilling life. I suppose all things must come to an end at some point. Rubbish! You could go on forever. As a matter of fact, you actually still appear to be in good condition. You certainly could run for decades on. Excuse me. You may be enjoying your chat, but important engines like me have important things to do, and I
Treinsymbol
to
6.
do those things. All right. I'm just finished here. Bye, Trevor. Bye, Edward.
Treinsymbol
Must see
6.
you after so long. Good evening, Edward. How's your day been? Rather sad, sir. How good night.
Treinsymbol 6.
May I ask who that was, sir? He's not important, Edward. Don't worry.
Treinsymbol
His suit
6.
looks mighty important. Don't worry. Was there something else you wanted to speak to me about? Yes, sir. I went to Barrow today, and I came across an old friend of mine that I met before I came to Soden. An old steam tractor by the name of Trevor. And what about him? He's built down and died. He was sold to an antique museum, but he pretty much has to stay since the entire day. I just don't think it's fair for a bloke like him. He's worked hard his entire life, and I think he should keep working. I would agree. But what are you suggesting, Edward? That we buy him? I just feel terrible, sir. And he's a firm friend of mine as well, which makes it all worse. Edward, I understand your feelings. I really do. But we need to spend money carefully in these times on things that are useful. I'm not saying that Trevor is useless, but I don't have a use for him on a railway. I understand, sir. Well, you're right, Edward. What if the vicar starts a charity for Trevor? He is in need of a tractor, after all. You could raise the money to purchase Trevor, and it's for a perfectly moral purpose to make Trevor useful again. Brilliant idea, Edward. I will speak to the vicar when I get a chance to. He'll be thrilled at the idea of helping an engine like Trevor. A fat controller couldn't be more correct. The vicar was thrilled with the mission of rescuing Trevor from unemployment. Soon Soon after the Fat Controller proposed the idea, the charity officially began. Needless to say that charities weren't very popular back then, as the entire world was in need of money back then. We needed to gain money by popularity, meaning we would have to get as many people to donate as possible. We did everything possible to advertise the Vickers charity all across the island. Flyers, posters, newspapers, word of mouth, every method was used for advertisement. Soon enough, nearly the entire island knew about the charity, and little by little, more and more money was being donated. Despite this, the vicar felt that there was something that was missing. He spoke to the Fat Controller about it one day. What do you feel is missing, Vicar? I mean, I feel like we need something to do more to celebrate the donations of these people. Perhaps a banquet? Perhaps we can do a rail excursion with the families and contributors. Oh, wonderful idea indeed, Topham. The families would love to ride along the railway with their children. Only one problem though, Topham. There are lots of contributors to this charity. Is it possible to organize a train that large? There will likely be hundreds of people, and I don't know if your coaches can hold that many people. That's an easy fix. We can just put more coaches on the train. We'll likely have to use commuter coaches since they can hold more people. Well, that is one problem solved. But do you have a strong enough engine to pull the train? Yes, I will task Joey to pull the train. He is not only my strongest engine, but his character, hard work, and tenacity to always do his job have earned him the right to do such a task. And I was thrilled to hear those words from the Fat Controller. I was honored to do this service for Victor. A few days later, the charity was only 50 pounds away from completing its goal. I was at Kilburn speaking with Lady about this event. What generous things the Vicar and the Fat Controller did. I know, right? It's such an honor to hold such a train. I tried convincing Mr. Pillane to donate a few dollars, but he said he couldn't. Why not? Is the coal mine falling on hard times? No, it's not money, but there's conversation around from some of the workers that they're going on strike. That's the last thing Mr. Owen needs. But according to one of the workmen, apparently there's a party that's been going around various industries and factories to convince the workers to go on strike. British Union? Yep, they're finding all the miners and trying to convince them to go on strike. I hate those stupid unions. I think they get off on watching businesses suffer. I think that's the simple truth. Come on, Joey, these goods aren't going to deliver themselves. Oh, sorry. Bye, lady. I have to go. Bye, Joey. Don't have too much fun without me. As I said before, I was honored to pull the charity train. The other engines were all happy. And some were a bit jealous about London problems in London. That would be the big thing, though. When the last £2,000 were donated to the charity, the goal was met. The train was waiting for me at Knapford Station, where the Vicar and the Fat Controller were giving their greatest thanks to the contributors and their families. I would have been there to listen to the speeches, but I was distracted by a rather awful engine. I need that siding for my coaches. I was told to put my trucks here. Either way, I don't have time to move them. I have an important train to pull. Pull us in. What's going on? Hey, Edward, I need someone on my side. Actually, it doesn't matter what I do, because you always have a problem with this engine. What is an engine like you doing with an important train anyway? You're a freight engine, but it's a medial one that is too good for engines like me. Perfect for peasants like you. Andrew, that's enough. Oh, we're going there, Frankenstein? At least I appreciate what's given to me, and I don't find a reason to mope. I don't care how glorious my job or life is. The satisfaction I get is by how I help others, not by how much I pin the others over. That's why I'm always satisfied with myself, and you never are, you selfish engine. Joey, the Fat Controller always said, hungry people eat lunch, humble people serve it. The Fat Controller is a manipulative snake who always invokes on your prejudices and ego. He wants you to feel superior to others so that he can control you like a puppet. Joey, your blind loyalties will strengthen his control over you. No one asks without question his ethics or anything. A puppet is the ultimate peasant, and you, Andrew, are a puppet. Joey, that's enough. Leave it. The puppet, you're afraid to kick their ass all over this yard. No, you both aren't going to do anything. fix. Don't walk. Stop it right now. Answer me! Do you really want to play this game again? Do you? Do you?
Well,
Please. Boy, what's going on out here? Why is Edie ran? I wanted to pick a fight, that's why. Oh, well now I have to go with Craig. If you ask me personally, I would just leave him there. There's no point in rescuing a snub like... Oh, shit. Joey, you bust a cylinder, you have? Yeah, I know. Well, I guess I can't pull the train now. Well, who can? There's no one else. There's you, Edward. You don't have anything now. Joey, this train is very heavy. It's meant for you. I can't pull that many coaches. I think you can. The ground's mainly flat. You're not going over Gordon's Hill. You could probably pull it if you just give it some time. Oh, an old useless relic like him pulling them? Shut it! You can do it, Edward. I trust you. Now go. There isn't much time left. Very well. Luckiest engine ever that I'm immobilized. Where is Joey? He's meant to take this train. He's indisposed currently, so he has to be influenced. But you absolutely
Neue
sure
Mitteilung.
you can, Edward?
Neuer Freund
It is
online.
flat ground the
Drücke die
entire way to
PS-Taste,
Brandon
um
Station.
Details
I should be
anzuzeigen.
able to. We don't have to pass over Gordon's Hill. And either way, sir, this train needs to be pulled. I am more than willing to do so. For you, the vicar, and for Trevor. That's why I'll be sure to ask you if we help them up. I thank you very much for your services. And for Jones, even if he may not be here now. Both very faithful souls. And so, Tom, I would like to thank you both.
Neue Mitteilung.
Come on,
Stummschaltung des
Edward.
Mikrofons
Do
aufgehoben.
it. I know. I can do it. I can do it. I've done it. Ha-ha. That was me now. Excellent, Edward. All right, steady now. Should be picking up speed. fine. Just keep going, old boy. Don't stop. That Edward did, but not for too long. Edward was about to pass over a section of track that was slightly sunken into the ground. Normally, this wasn't a very big issue, but it was raining so hard that the rain actually managed to accumulate and cover up the tracks with water. The sand underneath the ground was also weakened, causing the rails to sink further,